when I don't have the Zoom stuff down perfectly.
We're learning.
Yeah.
We're learning. So did everybody got some good hacks they can talk about? Good.
Absolutely.
Well, here's a question for you guys. Do you have any other woodworking friends that you can tell about our meeting so they can join us? Hello, is anybody home?
Actually, I have a phenomenal idea, but I'll talk about that
Oh, my gosh.
later.
Oh,
Yeah.
Might be a good time to talk about your Maloof stuff on Saturday.
Okay. As I'm sure I alluded to on several occasions, I'm involved with the Maloof Foundation, getting more involved with it now that the COVID stuff is relaxed a little bit. I will be hosting an informational booth at our local Rancho Cucamonga regional art thing. This is the first time we've done it since COVID. And I'm actually they're gonna let me borrow a Maloof chair or a Maloof piece of furniture, probably a table. And then I have flyers and all that. So if you guys want to hop on an airplane, Ontario Airport's real close.
Oh, but I was thinking if you're every Saturday, you're
Oh.
going to be.
And also, I'm going to sign up to lead a tour, not this coming Saturday, but from the Saturdays after that. I'm going to sign up to lead the 2:00 Saturday tour. It's not guaranteed. It's kind of hit and miss. I got to sign up for it, but I told them. So if you're ever in Southern California, give us a call first, or give me a call, or let us know, and we can set something up.
Yeah, so if you have a Saturday afternoon free and you're in California,
Yeah.
it might be something because that place is pretty.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good place to go. So.
Can you
And,
buy lunch if we fly out there?
I'll buy you lunch.
Okay.
That's just a short hop from New York.
I'll even give you. I'll comp the. Is that legal, Kevin? I'll comp the tour. It's $25.
You got it.
All you have to do is just leave a little donation.
Yeah, and the don't forget the plane ticket. You'll have to buy
Oh yeah. You got to pay for the plane ticket.
Oh, okay.
I'm booking my flight right now.
Come on down. Hey, come on down to the shop and join us. Come on a Monday and join us. We could snuggle up a little bit closer and get another.
Yeah.
I live about 5 minutes from the foundation property, so it's really convenient. Really convenient.
All right, might as well get started. Might be some late joiners showing up or not, but we'll.
How do you want to do the hacks after the video, or do the hacks? What do you want to?
Do the videos first. I think.
Yeah, the video first. Okay, first of all, I'm going to start off at normal disclaimer, and I sometimes I look at what I do, and what I do sometimes is like really dangerous. I realize that I don't want you to think that just because I do it means that it's totally safe. Just make sure you work at your comfort level, understand the forces on the machines, etc. Ed wanted to make sure that everybody knows that we're not compensated for this. We don't get any for whatever. We only endorse the stuff that we like and that we use, and we talk about our personal experiences. We joke. We were talking earlier how all of the mistakes and the money that Ed and I have spent on bad tools, crummy stuff could have put Joan through Art Center. So unfortunately, 20 years too late, right, Joan?
Yeah, a little bit.
So, okay, well, Ed, you want to start the video? The video is about, it's narrated. If you I actually talk during the video, the sound is kind of okay, but it's about my assessing and trying to figure out the best way to get an extremely valuable piece of wood to a point where I can make something that is worthy of the wood. So on that note, give it a try. And it's about, I don't know how long, 10 minutes maybe the most.
So let's see if I can.
Are you recording?
Yeah, we are. recording. So,
The good stuff is kept. Over here is some walnut that local harvest. See the one in the background, I'll move piece in front of it. You can see that piece right here. Beautiful, can't wait to do something with it. In the shop, yeah, I think it's be pretty good. It's nice and flat. No, just turn the volume down. It's beautiful. And yeah, one of the things about this rescue wood stuff, I mean, it's fortunate that this is
Cracks me up.
obvious. And then when we get this little guy out of here, let's see,
It goes back to our fasteners,
square drive.
Robertson.
Holy mackerel.
3 inches or something.
Yeah.
Holy.
That looks like a stainless steel. Interesting.
Look familiar?
That's $180 screw if you have a saw stop.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't, I did edit a lot of this out, so this is what I spend my life doing. Sand and sand and sand. Now, I'm just doing this to try to get a feel for what the wood's gonna look like. I don't sand it very much, but you can see the fiddle back coming out. And it's throughout the entire board. I guess technically a plank. I did buy the Rotex from Ed. Yeah.
Well, technically, you sort of.
Right through it.
I just had to do this.
I like how you clean the water up.
Turn
that.
Where the sawdust was not removed, I think all that color, you'll see the lighter ones here, and the light and dark. With this right here, I don't think that it's just it's staining. Said I was going to check for wind. This guy will show us pretty consistent 3/8 cup in the middle. And then it flattens out on this side. And then it actually goes down on that side. So we come over here. We have the other stick, basically. It's just a big bar clamp. So now, 2 bars up. Let's see if we got it right there. I mean, it's really close. Like I said, if it's cut correctly,
7/8.
stored correctly, this is about what it looks like. Now, I did have it stickered laying flat, and the sticker was right about here. And I heard a long time ago that wherever the sticker is, it will stop the checking or major checking. And that looks like it pretty much did. Let's check this under the. It dried vertically or horizontally for a couple of years, basically.
it was covered outside. And here, you can, if I can see it, but this is where the sticker was. Right about there. And you can see it's fairly consistent. The checking pretty much ends. There's a few exceptions, but it pretty much ends right about there. So properly stickering and keeping it covered. Now it's been through rain and all that, but this is classically air dried lumber or walnut, and it is. I think I have 3 other slabs like this. I might have to examine those before I decide to cut it, but I'm going to clean it up a little bit and see what we can do. This is the other side. I flipped it over, and it's even better than the other side.
Turn it up.
You can see the stickering right here, and here. And we do the same thing with the brush. Stickers are just a piece of wood that you put between the slabs as they come off the mill to allow airflow. All the way around it. And you can see the grain pattern.
Yeah, it actually is
Right.
order something.
Coming up is that's the center of the board. And the crack is vertical. So now we're going to cut this thing lengthwise.
That's my hack.
Okay.
Clamp this down.
Now,
Is that
I'm gonna-
what the blue line?
I'm gonna cut it right down the center where the pith, where the heartwood is.
Got it. See how the tracks are going. Take a minute to get everything all situated. So,
That's a healthy cut.
okay, that's a full depth. You're not gonna go all the way through. Okay. We're going to see the moisture content. Can you do just hold this guy like that? I can do that. Okay, yeah. Make me look cool. Yeah. We do that in post. Okay, we're gonna check the moisture right here in the center of the log. And it doesn't even register. Indication on the surface. Now, see, mine doesn't even register over here.
I think that's where I spoke to the water.
So the meter does not register anything less than 10, so we're in good shape on here. But my point is right here in the center of the wood, Okay, it's 10. And if you, that means it's working. Yeah, good. So we're under 10% moisture content at 4 weeks. That's incredible. That's what we need.
Is that it?
Got it. Okay. There we go. Kevin had to get a phone call, so he's out there. Okay, well, that's kind of the initial assessment. Just for information, the one that I was using is a Trimex moisture meter. It's a non-destructive. So it's accurate, it's really good, but it's not really point specific. If you want a little more specific areas, this guy has little pins in it. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. That will actually penetrate the wood 1/8 of an inch or more, and it'll give you specific locations, but it does poke holes in the wood. This guy, I used it for my job many years ago. It's pretty good, and as long as it's under 10%, it's great. Now, just as a, I did mill it. This is gonna be for guitar sides, and this is the piece of wood. Now it is flat, straight, and square, which you all know about. Beautiful wood. I'm sure you can't see it. There's figure and flame and all that you. It's going to be a beautiful guitar. Now these are the pieces that I just band sawed. These are about about a quarter, a little bit thinner than a quarter.
Yeah.
And I'll take these guys down to about. I'll start running them through the sanding machine. And get them down to about 60 thousandths. And then there, at some point, the wood will kind of get thin enough to where it'll really flex, and I know I can bend it in the guitar form. But this is going to be really, I think, spectacular. And I don't know, can you see it? There's got a little bit of a cup to it. And it's got a little, I don't care about this at all, because this guy, when it gets or when it gets thinner, it'll be very easily to conform. But this is near perfect. Now, this is the outside of the board, so it's really dry. This is probably 5%, and this guy here is 5.5%, just because it's in the wood a little bit. Totally cool, but eventually, see, this guy is a little less bent. He was the second board that I cut, and I will restrain them for a little while, and then I'll narrow them down, and I'll do the same for the wood for the top. I'm not gonna get it out, but next week, like I say, I'll show a little progress on this guitar. I was gonna make a cabinet out of that wood, but it was just, there's so much of it is beautiful, and I really was gonna make guitars out of it, make some special guitars. Now this wood, it was from the LA Arboretum. They had a big windstorm 6 years ago, and Lucky Baldwin, you may not know, he was the guy who owned the land that the LA Arboretum is on, and he donated the land to the Arboretum, and they were just gonna make mulch out of it. So I was able to, with the help of other people at the Arboretum, I was able to get it, survive it. I've made several pieces of furniture out of it, of the other logs, and all of that wood has been made for the benefit of the Arboretum. So if anybody's interested in this guitar, when it's made, part of the proceeds will go back to the Arboretum, and it will be a beautiful guitar. So,
Dennis, can I ask you a question? You said that 10% was optimal, was so long as it's less than 10% water content.
yes.
Is that based on the kind of wood? Like, is pine, walnut, cherry, can they tolerate different percentages of water that are still good to do woodworking with?
I don't think so. I think basically optimal is 6%. Okay.
No matter what kind of wood it is.
No matter what kind of wood it is. That just means that the water is, or the moisture content of the wood has stabilized, and you won't get weird movement in the wood at that point. Most machines, this guy will go to 7, I believe, and this guy will only go to 10. So that's why I do that. But no, that's a good question.
Some of the machines, you have to put the setting of the species you're checking because it won't, because to get the proper reading. But whatever species it is, if you read it properly, it needs to be less than 10, or it's just going to bend a little bit as it dries.
Yeah, and what you don't want it to do, see, this guy here is, I just use it on this, and it's 6%, which means it's 6% or less. And usually on the end grain, you can't see it. On the end grain and stuff, it's going to be really dry. But what really tells is, say I cut this guy in half like I did, and then I put this guy right here. Can I see it? There you go. That right there would be the wettest point of the piece of wood. So that's just for the heck of it. This is 6.4 or thereabouts. So it really is about the movement. Now, to more specifically answer Bill's question, it really depends on what you're willing to put up with as a woodworker. You can work with wetter wood, which I do quite a bit, but you just have to make sure that you incorporate the notion that the wood is going to move, and if you don't allow for it, it will cause problems. So that's, and you can see the difference in the movement of these two boards. This guy here moved a lot more than this guy because the water differential, or the moisture content differential, is greater in this guy than this guy. So he's had a chance to equally dry out. We're talking microscopically. This guy is perfect. This guy is not a problem. When I'm going to cut 2 more out, I'm going to make, I always try to get like 2 guitars going at the same time. So I'll cut up 4 of these. Hopefully I don't break one. I haven't yet, but that's what we're going to do.
Right.
I'll be making other furniture, but it was just, I don't know, just too pretty to do it.
You started looking at your wood in your shed, and then it's like, oh, it's time to take care of this thing.
Yeah. Now, just a kind of interesting, I saw on the internet that planks like these were going for $3,000, $1,500 to $3,000. There's 20 board feet in this guy here. That would make $200. Well, $100 to $200 a board foot. Yeah. How many you want, Ed?
I'll pass.
It's worth twice that to me. I wouldn't sell it. I just love to have it. And I think I said in the video, it's just wonderful to be able to work with this kind of wood. Air dried, personally. In fact, the guy that Joan worked for quite a long time was my friend. And he actually, we set up his mill in my front yard, or my neighbors thought I was crazy. But that's okay. And we had a ball milling it and drying up. My wife said, when are you going to get that stuff in the shop, Dennis? Because it was sitting on the side of the house, side yard for a long time. So, any questions?
So walnut makes a good guitar. I mean, the wood itself, for tone and things.
Okay. But that you're getting into an area that we could probably spend a lot. But yes, there's no such thing as a bad wood for a guitar. It just depends on how much, how good you want it to sound and how much work you want to put. I only make walnut body and redwood top guitars. The top of the guitar is what really produces the majority of the sound, but it's the interaction of the top and all of the wood. A guitar is nothing more than a big air pump, and you want it to pump the air out, and that gives you the volume and the tone. My experience shows me that this walnut has a musical quality. It's hard to explain. You pick it up and you work with it, and it's not a tap tone. A lot of people say, they do that. It's not that, but there's a crispness to this wood. And that's what I noticed when I was working it and messing around with it. And that's what caused me to say, no, we're going to make some exquisite guitars out of it instead of a beautiful cabinet. And that was really a hard choice. I do have 4 more of these planks that I'll make furniture out of. But if they turn out to be this beautiful, I got to have more guitars that I really know what to do with. Thank you. That's a good, a lot of discussion. If it's not rosewood and spruce, it's not a guitar. That's not how I work. I like redwood and walnut. I'd never seen a redwood and walnut guitar. I made one, I put it in a couple of shows, and the year later, there was about 19 walnut and redwood guitars. So, you gotta have fun in doing it, and what the heck, what did it hurt?
Yeah, so Michelle, you had something you wanted to share with us. I think I could pull up the quick video here if you want to talk about it, or if you want to tell everyone what
Yeah, let me just give a quick intro and then you can, roll action. Well, I went on last Thursday, up to the Metro, and then they had a woodworker show. It was kind of disappointing. There wasn't as many exhibits as they had last year. So I don't know if it was gas prices that were affecting, people bringing stuff, because it's put on by the Minnesota Woodworkers Group. So they come from all over Minnesota. So it was in Eden Prairie, Jay. I'm sure you know where Eden Prairie is, in their mall. And then when you get there, and I'm sure all of you, it's probably the same everywhere, but you get little ballots, to write down your favorites of the show and things like that. So there was a few pictures I took, a couple for Joan, so that you'd see this weird stuff, and then of course, the guitars. And I guess I didn't, it was okay. I didn't see anything that oohed and awed me. So I'm not for sure. Last year they had some really high quality, furniture. But I did get a chance to talk to the president of the group. And I was thinking, if you guys want, I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun if we invited their group to just join us on a night, and then like they do what's on the bench, and or even just for conversation, just what people are working on or what their favorite things are. I don't know. It's up to you guys. But I also saw at one of the meetings they had that this David Richards, he works for Fine Woodworking in Rochester, Minnesota, and he did a presentation on SketchUp. So he said he would do some video conferencing on SketchUp. So, and he's the expert. He does all the SketchUp drawings for, like I said, Fine Woodworking. So I'm just throwing that out there for you guys. And but anyway, so you can just, I just took pictures. hopefully I didn't take the one where I took a picture of my foot and then I accidentally took one of my thumb, but hopefully those got edited out.
Yeah, is there any of these that you want to specifically talk about? I'll play and just say pause if there's anything you're.
Well, no, not really. Maybe when we get to the walnut one, I was kind of disappointed in that one there with the veneer because he didn't inlay that, that was just raised up like that. And I just thought it would, well, my opinion, of course, I thought it would have looked a little nicer had he actually inlaid it into the wood itself. It didn't quite flow over the top.
So the show wasn't judged. They didn't have judges that.
Yeah, they came later
Oh,
to do the judging.
okay.
But that chair, oh, there are the guitars that I took for Dennis.
Yeah. Yeah, Joan's an electric guitar guy. I do acoustic.
I thought that was sharp.
That's beautiful. Looks like olive.
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to blow it up to find out.
It's fall.
It's
Maple,
wild.
maple. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Looks like burl walnut.
Yeah,
Anyway,
could be.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, no, that's not my foot though. I
okay.
took the picture.
Yeah, video's not right unless you see feet.
Yeah. And of course, just, I thought that was a nice one. This one I did like too. But the black one and the same with the chair there that had the black back.
Right.
They had just dyed, and it was, I think, a pine on the chair. And they had just dyed that.
Yeah.
And it really didn't look that good, not a real high shine on that stuff. And I had more pictures, but I didn't know how many to send. I guess, like I said, there was nothing that, you thought, oh my God, how did he do that?
To me, it sounds like you need to enter something next year and have a sweep of their contest.
Yeah.
Oh, I am absolutely, that's what I told the president. Well, I'll win next year, but the prices, like they had a walnut, pretty basic walnut with bloodwood that it looked like he had cut and split the walnut boards. I thought I sent that one, but anyway, then he put some bloodwood in it. And then, so it was $1,095. And there was a lot of walnut in that. And I thought that was a real reasonable price. A lot of stuff was mostly in the thousands.
Yeah.
But, in that price range. So it was fun. It was like my first one because I do want to enter next year. And
Great.
so I kind of wanted to scope out the competition, see what we got going on. So I'm not worried now. I figure I got all winter, right?
All right.
Michelle, is it just a one-day show?
It was 4 days.
4 days. Okay.
So I suppose they have the winners posted by now. I haven't looked yet on the website. But yeah, it was interesting, but I guess a little disappointing. But when I was watching, like I said, I don't know why they didn't have a lot of contestants this year.
Well, is this the first one since COVID, or have they had?
No,
more?
they had one last year.
Okay. Yeah, we're just getting started back up. I entered Orange County last year, but it was really a margin. Well,
Yeah.
how it was okay, but they had different procedures and stuff.
It wasn't the same.
Yeah, it wasn't the same. Hopefully this year will be a little bit different. Now, I just entered our San Diego design in wood competition for this year. It is probably the most well-known competition of in California, actually, or Southern California. So the entry deadline is next Friday. So anybody wants to enter it, they can actually submit. You can enter and then submit your stuff. You can ship it and they'll display it and then they'll ship it back to you. You got to pay for all the costs, but they'll do that. So I did enter 2 pieces. We've entered it quite a few times. It's a 2-hour drive one way. You got to go there 3 times.
$200 worth of gas.
$200 worth of gas.
Hey, Michelle, you were complaining about the gas prices. Your price right now is what we were paying before it went up, okay?
Oh, man, it's still, well, to us, it's high, but
I think it's starting to go back down. I see now it's down to like $5.50.
Woo! Oh, man.
I filled up my Camry yesterday and it was like, I can't remember if it was 65 or $80. I've never, probably $80.
It's the same size as my car, the sedan. It's
Yeah,
like $80.
All right, so we want to talk about, everyone has hacks they want to talk about for woodworking. Do we want to briefly, you guys give one, and then if anyone else has one, then start with Ed.
Well, the only one I could come up with, there's kind of a couple of them, but this is a spade bit. Okay, familiar with that? Well, many years ago, I needed a tapered drill bit. So I took one of these and I ground it down to the dimension that I needed. And for the application, if I'm not mistaken, it was for the hole in the rocking chair seat. And
For the spindle?
the spindle, I'm sorry, for the spindles. And so I just ground this down to the exact dimension and used it one time. And then after that, I started making the spindles to the correct dimensions. Okay. So that's my hack. Took a spade bit, ground it down to a weird size, and I think I still have it. So there's my hack for the day.
And I think everything I do is a hack. I don't know, but actually, did you see in the video where I cut the walnut on this bench right here, and I bought a long time ago. I bought some 4 sheets of styrofoam with about 3/4 of an inch thick styrofoam, laid it on the bench, and I can cut and stuff, and it doesn't go through, and it's perfect for doing that. I don't know if that's a hack, but
it's good, it's cheap, and it's
good and cheap, and it lasts.
Doesn't run your workbench.
It doesn't ruin my bench. I've ruined so many, and then I don't have to go looking for a piece of wood to prop it up and all that. So,
Bravo.
Joan, you're like me. Everything you do is a hack.
Yeah, I mean, every time we have to make a jig, is that a hack?
Yes, that's a hack.
There you go.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Jay, do you have
A
what
10-inch
about you?
That-
hack.
The 10-ish.
Got a big list. I thought I would keep my mouth shut until others had a chance.
Well, here's a question for the group. How many of you people have one of these store-bought circle cutters for a router? Just raise your hand. They go for about 50, 60 bucks. They got the dimensions on them and all that. Well, guess what? For about $5, you can make one and draw a center line down the middle of it and measure the hole you want exactly and drill a hole in there and mount your router on it. You got a circle jig for about $5.
Plus your time. Totally worth it.
Totally worth it, because these other ones have all these dimensions, which you're probably never going to need, like a radius of 24 3/4 inches. It's just a waste of money. And
I got one.
a lot of them, they're only some router specific. They do a bunch, but maybe sometimes I had to drill holes in mine. So, whoa.
I just thought of another one. See, when I glued down the bridge plate to the guitar, I came up with this little guy.
That's your clamp.
That's my clamp that I use for gluing the bridge to the body, and it goes through the holes for the string pegs, the bridge pins.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Isn't that weird? And I have, it's kind of, my bridges are kind of weird. They have little angles, so I have the cork is removed from that one, but I've got to put a lot of pressure right on these little angles so the glue is good.
I came up with this 8, 10 years ago, but it works. Every guitar I've ever made, that's what I used to glue it with.
Interesting.
That's fun. That's,
Well, if you want to talk about, I didn't know jigs were a hack,
oh,
but I've got tons of jigs that I've made up for. I'm working on a rocking chair, and you should see the different jigs that I've made to do specific things.
and next week we'll do a video on sanding, but also I'll be over and we'll video of the rocking chair. Okay, you guys tell us some hacks.
Well, I don't know if this is a hack per se, but I ordered this and I just love it. It's for using on the saw, and then it's magnetic. And then if you want to just put your saw blade at 1/4 inch or whatever, you just connect them till you get your width. And then, like I said, it's magnetic. So once you put it down, you know, it stays, it doesn't move. And it's so slick and it's so quick. And then you get accurate cuts, you know, for what you need. So, and I don't think it was
Is that
something
to
like,
raise the saw blade to a certain height?
yeah, to get
Okay.
your saw blade to the correct height. Oops, now they're sticking all over.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's a hack per se, but I just like it because it's fast and accurate.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that qualifies for hack.
Well, we'll consider it a hack.
Yeah.
It qualifies.
Jay, what about you? You said you had 5 million of them?
Well, not 5 million, but. So, okay, how about, I'll give a hack to Ed, a back to Ed with his drill bit. So you don't want to get any, so you start your drill in the reverse direction and you go a few turns and it will gently break the surface and give you a bit of a trough. Now you now you change the direction to the forward direction, and that you will have, I got to remember to keep my finger on the space bar. And then as you go forward, you won't get any tear out. It works beautiful. I encourage any of you to try it. And it doesn't have to be, it can be any bit, just spin it in the reverse direction to start. And the other hack is obvious, that you can put, to prevent blowout, tape on the backside, or another block of wood on the backside. But you can also do that on the top side. Have a small sacrificial board, and it works well if you have a bit that has a point, so you can put it to an exact starting point. One of my favorites is a temporary hold. So let's say you don't have a taper jig, or you don't have a joiner. So you take a piece of wood and you put it against the fence of your table saw, a small piece of plywood or something. And then you put some painter's tape along the length of the board. And then you put some painter's tape on the board that you want to join or taper. And then you put some CA glue on your painter's tape, and then you stick them together and use some accelerator. It's an instant fusing. So now you run it through the saw, and now you can easily pop the two boards apart, because it's only the tape that's being held by the glue. And then it's easy to pull the tape off your boards. Is that clear, or is that confusing?
Yeah.
I'm a little confused.
So the tape goes on both boards, the glue goes on the tape, and that holds the two boards in the whatever alignment you want. So if you were using it as
Joining the boards on the flat surface, on the edge grain, I'm confused about how you're joining the board.
well, I'm sorry, I don't have a picture, on the flat surface. So if you had, let's say we were going to use it as a joiner. So you had a board that had a nice straight edge to go against the fence.
Oh, okay.
You follow me?
Yeah.
And now you want to run the board that you want to straighten out. You run the edge intentionally off the end of the edge of your first board, right?
Oh, okay.
But you need a way to hold it still so it doesn't move while you run it through the saw.
Okay.
So it's a temporary hold with the painter's tape and CA glue.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I, in my, I remember using kind of hide glue comes in different strengths. You can adjust the strength of hide glue. And what we do sometimes is we put more water than normal, and that would make it would make a really good glue bond, but it would be easily broken. I can't remember if it was too much water or not enough water. It's been a long time. And then you just drop it, it just pop. You can machine it and do all kinds of stuff. You just drop it and it pops right apart. That's some of the nice things about old hide glue.
Which is a separate subject.
Oh, I don't even want to go there. Sorry I brought it up.
But actually, who here has actually used hide glue before?
B.
Actually, I kind of like it, but it's just a hassle.
Yeah, just, but I think isn't the reason to use it is because you just heat it up and pull it
Yeah,
apart and
yeah.
finish everything and put it back together?
Yeah,
Well, it's completely water soluble.
water solid and heat solid or heat. And it makes guitars and stuff repairable. You can actually heat it up and actually take I've taken fretboards off and all kinds of stuff. But Tide Bond is so just do it right and you don't have to take it apart. Tide Bond will also, if you heat it like 2 degrees below the combustion temperature of the wood, you can cause it to fail.
Now, so Steve, I know you have a bunch of hats.
Yeah.
Is there anything, that you have to share? Or for Steve, is there anything, what about you? Is there any hacks you have?
No. I think being a
Can you hear
woodworker,
us, Steve?
I think being a woodworker, we are
Okay.
inherently,
How many Steves are there?
Just one, actually. You're it today.
you're it.
It's me.
Yeah, it's all you.
No. Nah, I got nothing for you, boys.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe next time.
Okay, I think woodwork, the woodworking is kind of inherently, we make stuff up and we do whatever we got to do to make it, perform the stuff.
I got
I made
one
this
more.
today.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Wow. Impressive.
And when I got done that, I made this one.
They
what do you
are
do?
beautiful.
Nice.
What do you do in your spare time?
Make bowls.
Okay, make more bowls.
You like a lot of cereal, don't you?
And popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn and,
popcorn.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm asking, because my impression is that you don't sit down at all and you're just constantly making stuff or preparing blocks of wood to make stuff with, and that's a good good hobby to have. So.
I don't know what I'd do if I didn't do this.
Les, what about you? Any good hacks? Because
No, I was thinking of something, but I've been trying to make some holdfasts. I have a bench that has 5/8 inch holes in it rather than the usual 3/4. So hard to get a holdfast to fit that. And I have come up with a couple of them. Maybe I'll show them to you next time. But they do work. A little bit rudimentary, but they do work and they do hold the wood down pretty good. And you can use whatever size dowel happens to work for your bench. In my case, I think it was a 5/8.
Yeah, that's, I made hold downs with my 3D printer. They work kind of okay.
Yeah.
can't use a lot of
Force,
pressure.
yeah.
A lot of force. I think, but
It just shears off.
I haven't quite perfected the angle.
Yeah.
I just
That's
play with
key.
it a little bit. That's
Hey,
the
by
hard
the way, I like your shirt.
part. Got a whole slew of them, every color.
Same here. We'll see if we can match up next week, okay?
All right.
So Ed, what do you got going on?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm working on a curly maple, musical instrument quality curly maple rocking chair. And Dennis is gonna show some pictures of that, the progress of that. I came up with a hack though for the rocking chair, real quick. The front legs where the arm joins the front leg is turned. And I've always had a problem. We talked about drilling a straight hole in the leg. I don't want to lower the drill. You can't do it on a drill press. So I've always done it manually. Well, I took a 8/4 piece of walnut. The leg is 1.25 inches in diameter. I bored a hole in the back side of it about a 1/2 inch deep, 1.25 inches. Didn't touch the drill press, came back in and drilled my 3/8 diameter hole. And I stuck it right on the top of the leg, and I put the drill down. It made a drill jig. So I didn't have to worry about the rotating of the drill
That's
or the
perfect.
angle. It's so simple. The only problem is the diameter sometimes isn't exactly 1.25 inches or so.
So you need to make a whole set.
No, think about this. The leg is tapered.
Yeah.
So I made it a little bit smaller and made it deep enough where I could just press it down right, and it seated itself on the diameter of the leg.
Yeah, we'll include that in the
Yeah.
video.
So
That sounds fun.
I've only made 25, 30 rocking chairs in my life, and I'm still making jigs for these things. Come up with a new. So very simple, very simple.
As you're talking about hacks, I keep thinking every one of those little, like the circle cutters, all the things they sell at Rockler,
Yeah,
where at some point someone's hacked. And then they thought, oh, you know what? I could sell this.
yeah.
Yeah.
$70, $100, right?
So your circle guide bit set,
Yes.
and you know, that might be at Rockler next year.
Bench cookies. I just use pieces of scrap wood.
Mm-hmm.
I bought those years ago.
We have an ongoing joke with the Rockler
Yeah.
people about the bench cookies.
I'm waiting for him to come out with a chocolate chip bench cookie so I can eat the thing. Okay, so.
Actually, they're, you know, in last week's video, Ed used it to route on it, and it made a lot of sense. You know,
Well,
it works.
They don't move. That's one thing. They got the rubber surface on them. So, no, it's not one of my favorite go-to things.
I think you were you asking about what I'm working on?
Yeah, what are you working on?
All right, so I did a quick chair update last time. I took a break from the rocker to finish up the those benches, the fruitless orange benches. So
Did you get paid?
Yes, yes. Got it paid. Got a new vacuum for the chop saw.
Or
And,
drill motor.
Got some drills. And then I did that bar for that restaurant.
Oh, that's right. That's
yeah. So there's a French restaurant opening in Santa Monica. They think they're going to be open soon. No way. But they got a ash bar, live edge. It's about maybe like 10.5 by 20 feet. And I could send you some photos. So I'll add those to the list of
I'll put
photos
it
at the
in a
end.
video next week.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, if no one has anything else, we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Well, wait a minute now.
Wait a minute. Hey, you me ask questions. Kevin, you gotta, you know, okay.
Slow
Basically,
down here, buddy.
we will
well,
not,
Buckaroo, yeah.
we will not think less of you if you have to leave the meeting. But now.
Go
continue.
ahead, Michelle. Fire
Okay,
away.
so Joe, I was wondering, can you do a shop video tour?
Yes.
Of course. Yeah.
But you have your own shop, right?
I'm in between shops. Actually, I might.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
may have news.
We may have news.
So, but it would be nice maybe if, I'd like to see other people's shops. You know, like Les and Steve, you know, where you get, you know, people hang out and what they do and then have, you know, like this one guy had a small shop and then he got one of those lift bars because the shop was so small and he put like a piece of wood on the side of his saw stop. And then he just hit a button and up came a table, which I thought was pretty cool, you know, and then he just hits the button and down goes the extension. So, you know, I guess I'd like to see, hopefully I'm trying to rearrange my shop, trying to find room for stuff, but I would love to see what other people have so I can get some ideas.
This mean I have to clean it up?
Oh, no, no, absolutely not. And then should I call that SketchUp guy or what are you guys thinking?
Who?
From the
SketchUp.
SketchUp
Does
for,
fine woodworking.
yeah, I think so, but maybe not in the next couple of weeks, but like in a month or so, that might be good. I think we have a pretty full plate of things for the next month. And
Yeah, it was, I was getting a little concerned about having stuff to present, because I think it's fun to have a video of Ed and Joan and me sometimes.
yeah, we still have Steve and Jay are,
Yeah.
wanting to do stuff too, and part of it's the fact that I don't have a lot of spare time right now to work on getting more people showing up to these meetings and stuff. But that's kind of one thing I want to do is get more people and work on that. So
You got a tripod.
yeah, Steve's ready to go. He's ready to. So
Yeah.
So give me a little bit of time, like a month or two, and we'll get more people coming to these meetings and
Yeah.
more good stuff like that.
And what Joe and I have kind of committed to do is to, instead of worrying about doing something special for our Monday meeting, we're just videoing what we do during the week.
Which is special.
Yeah.
It's
Froze.
Well, we made it almost to the end.
Yeah, we had a good batch of technology.
They froze on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can all talk to each other, but they can't seem to talk to us.
I don't even see them anymore. Hang on.
No, I see
That
them.
might be a good thing.
What was that thing you had up, Steve?
That's, I'm gonna use that to hold my iPhone to take video.
Oh,
Their internet must have come down because they just got disconnected. So
I think they're back at it.
We should also warn that the internet goes down on occasion.
Yeah.
So
I thought we fixed that.
Yeah,
we
so-
did.
We had a pretty good dose of technology tonight, guys. It was only that one foible.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it was fun tonight.
Joe made a
Okay.
joke. We were thinking that killed the internet.
It was so funny. You had to be there.
Bye. Like I say,
Adios.
Dennis, you're looking good.
hey, good. Yeah. Bill, good to see you. Now, in a couple months, maybe Bill, in our screen, he's at the bottom left. Well, he can do a presentation of what he's building when he comes back down here.
I would be glad to when it's a little more developed.
Yes. Yes.
At the moment, it would need levitation. It only has a top.
Oh, it's got, don't you have this, everything
We
cut
have
out?
leaves and a top, but we don't have, it would have to be magical levitation for it to be displayed at the moment.
As I told Kenny Mays, he said, we can take care of that in post-production. Hey, good to see you, Bill. Are you in New York or
I'm
Florida?
in New York and I'll either be in California, Miami, or Paris tomorrow.
I hope Paris.
Me too. Go
Where in New
Paris.
York are you?
I thought you were in your
Upper West Side. I live on West 76th Street. And just so you know that I'm not kidding, I could not possibly have a workshop because this is the fuse box that is provides.
So you got about 14 amps.
You know, the nice thing about that fuse box is if ever they blow, you can always use a quarter or a dime or a nickel.
That is good to know. I did think though you needed original copper. So I have to be mindful of microwaves and oven and toaster ovens being used at the same time. Never mind, forget about drills and anything else. So it's not possible.
You just have to come to California and you're always welcome in my shop.
I do feel a little unfaithful though, because I did get a lovely new dimmer LED in my kitchen finally, and I didn't have the correct dimming switch. And I feel unfaithful to you guys in woodworking because I have begun the process of replacing the dimmer. I haven't just finished the installation. So I'm branching out to electricity now.
Hmm.
I mean,
Oh, my God.
Oh, be careful.
Thank
okay,
you.
guys.
Bill's I've known, how long have I, yeah, 4 years?
I met you the month I retired, February of 19. That is when I had my first
Okay.
class.
The month he retired.
Our internet's.
I love retirement.
Yeah.
I do, except during a pandemic. It's a little, it's not as much fun, but hopefully the pandemic is now receding. I'm not saying it's over, but hopefully it's receding and
Yeah.
more normal, safe at life can continue.
In New York, but we're good out here.
Good to hear.
In rural Minnesota, you know, where the neighbors are miles away. So,
Yeah, you probably got a neighbor with 12 feet.
Yeah, they can hear, I can hear almost everything that's happening in the building. Yes.
Spare us the details.
I will. Okay, guys, have a good day. Good night.
yep, all right. Talk to you guys next Monday. I'll have pictures of my wine
Okay,
buffet.
I think we gotta go.
See you next week.
Okay,
See
Kevin,
you
will let
next-
you know what we're losing our internet.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye.
Bye.
What color shirt are you gonna wear next week? I'll coordinate it.